What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So I'll admit, one of the nice things about iOS is Apple's AirTag item tracker and the universal Find My network for their devices. On the Android side, there unfortunately hasn't yet been a similar universal item tracker with the mass adoption, but one company, MiLi, is trying to change that. This is their MiTag item finder, and I think it's about as close of an AirTag for Android as can be. Now, there's obviously a lot of other third-party item trackers on the market, but I like the MiTag for a few specific reasons. One, it's a Google certified product and works with Android's Find My Device app. There's no third-party app to fumble with, and that means it's universally compatible with all Android devices and easily shareable with others. I also like its simplicity. You don't need to buy a special holder to attach it to things. It comes pre-hole punched, and you can easily open it up and swap out the battery. Best of all, it's super affordable. And in fact, MiLi is running a bundle and save super sale right now, which I didn't even know about, but you can snag one of these for $16 or grab a couple for an even cheaper per MiTag price. I'll leave a link to that deal in the video description below if you're interested. Now, MiLi was kind enough to send me a bunch of these little MiTags and sponsored this video, but I'll be honest, of course, and give you both the pros and cons so you can decide if these MiTags are worth attaching to all your valuable stuff. Inside the box, you'll find a nice guide booklet to help you get started, the MiTag tracker itself, and a little metal ring to attach the tracker to your things. If you're curious, the MiTag tracker is just a little larger than an AirTag, but not by much. And this size comparison doesn't include a potential AirTag holder you might need to attach it in a similar way to the MiTag. The MiTag itself is sort of just one big button with three functions. A single press powers it on, a press and hold for 6 seconds turns it off, and 6 clicks will reset the tracker if needed. The only other physical component is this small gap on the side that you can use to pry the tracker open, revealing the coin cell battery inside. The tracker will last around 6 months on that single battery, and you'll be able to see the battery status within the app on your phone. Setting up the MiTag is super simple. On any Android device, you first just need to install Google's Find My Device app from the Play Store if you don't already have it. Ensure Bluetooth is turned on, of course, and as soon as the MiTag is powered on, your Android device will automatically detect it and prompt you to add it. You'll see a few pop-ups about using this tracker responsibly and some features of the Find My app, but it's a pretty seamless process from start to finish. With the MiTag added, you'll now be able to see its location on the map. Pretty straightforward, but there's a few other things I'd suggest you do as well. You should definitely rename the MiTag so you know what item it's attached to, and also change its little icon so it's more easily discernible on the map. If you have a bunch of MiTags attached to different items, this is how you keep them all organized. You'll also see the battery status of the MiTag there as well, like I mentioned, and as far as actually finding that lost item, there's a few tools at your disposal. First, you can of course have the MiTag play a sound if your item is maybe nearby but just out of sight. It's fairly loud, honestly, certainly loud enough to hear in a room, in a bag, or anywhere within your home. If you can't hear the tracker, but you still suspect it to be nearby, you can also use this nearly real-time, semi-directional Find Nearby function. Essentially, this pulsating blob will get larger and larger the closer you are to your lost item, and it'll also just tell you as well. Its biggest limitation is that it's not totally real-time, and it doesn't give you specific compass or arrow directions, but it's still pretty quick to tell you if you're closer or further away from an item if you take a couple of steps and then just pause for a brief second. And if your item is outside your general proximity, you can also use Google Maps to get broad directions to it too. Its location will update every 3 to 5 minutes in crowded areas, but of course this depends on how many other Android devices are around it. And obviously, if the item is nearby, it'll be using the Bluetooth on your phone primarily to figure out where it's at. And one other thing I mentioned at the start, if you want to share the item's location with a friend, you can do so really easily. The Find My Device app can create a link you can send to a friend, and then they'll get limited access to the item's location with your approval. Now, I know this is primarily an Android how-to, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one more thing. MiLi is launching another model of their MiTag that will be the first and only AirTag alternative that works seamlessly with both Android and iOS within a single item tracker device. It'll connect through the Google Find My Device app like this one, or Apple's Find My app, again, allowing you to ditch to third-party apps across both OSs. There are currently no other trackers that I know of that have both iOS and Android tracking capabilities in one tracker that also don't use a third-party app, like a Chipolo or a Tile. So that's pretty exciting, and I think it may actually be the final piece to getting more people into the MiTag. And one last minor drawback I do need to mention. Google's Find My network works best only if more people utilize it. And with the third-party products like MiTags, the more devices on the network, the more accurate the trackers will be, the faster the locations will refresh, and the better the real-time info will be as well. It's one of those things where success depends on mass adoption, and mass adoption only happens if the product itself is a success. I think MiLi is doing great things here to bring the right tracker to market, and now it's just a matter of people knowing about it and actually using it. So there you go, that's the MiTag from MiLi, what I consider to be the easiest Android alternative to an AirTag for item tracking. What do you guys think? Are you big on item trackers? Do you have any attached to your things? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.